Today I want to talk more about text messages, not only because it's my favorite topic, but because some questions came up during in-person events that I've attended, as well as some online discussions. So today, let's continue our conversations about text messages, and I will express my opinion on some of the topics that came up. The first question that came up is if you download data from a website directly, so let's say you go to Facebook and you go to My Information and you say export all my chats, is it the same data as you would get if you were to use forensic software to acquire someone's phone? And the answer is yes, it's generally the same data. Of course, when you acquire a phone with forensic software, you'll get more, you'll get other apps and other information. But let's say you specifically target one application, for example, Facebook, and you export from website and from the forensic software, yes, you are getting exact same messages. However, there is one exception, and it is in the case the phone and online service haven't been synchronized in a while. So let's say a custodian took their phone, they turned them off, put them in the drawer for 6 months to a year. Well, now whatever's online and on the phone is different because new messages are being generated and stored in an online database, but the phone isn't receiving those messages. So now you will get more data if you were to go and download personal data than if you were to acquire the phone. And if some messages were deleted online, those messages could exist on a device. So yes, there is a difference in that specific situation. If you do turn the phone on and it connects to Wi-Fi, everything will just sync up and will be identical again, but provided the phone doesn't have a SIM card or connects to Wi-Fi, there could be a difference, and yes, you can get different results, but that would be a rare exception. If the phone's online and active, the data would be the same. Next, is deleted data really deleted? First rule is you should always assume that if you send a message, it could be somewhere. It could be stored in some database, it could be out of sync, somebody could have taken a screenshot, somebody could have taken another phone's camera and take a picture of the other phone. There's always a chance for deleted message to exist somewhere. Now, being more real world, it depends on the application. So if you're using like self-deleted messages and WhatsApp or Telegram, then yes, those are generally gone. They'll be deleted. If you're using corporate communication system like Slack or Teams, then no, deleted messages are never deleted. Right? So it depends on the application you use and specific situation. You can never say that with 100% certainty that I deleted a message and now it's gone. It could be somewhere. But if you're using Slack or Teams, then you know deleting doesn't actually do anything. And the conversation was about cars. You know how you plug in your phone into a rental car and it shows you all the text messages that you get. Generally, I don't think that's a concern. Most of the time, cars display, they just mirror your phone and they don't really store your text messages. They may synchronize contacts, but if you remove the device when you turn the rental car back in, that should all be cleared out. So I don't think cars present any interest as far as text message collection, unless like you have a car with a SIM card and it gets text messages directly or something like that. That might be an exception, I don't know about. With cars, we're interested in something else. And what we're interested in is in engine computer data. So what cars do is they capture a snapshot of what's been happening with the car at a particular event, like airbag deployment or something like that. And what's interesting there is you can go and see what the car was doing at that moment of impact, for example. So if someone says, no, I was slowing down, I was on my brakes the whole way, I was trying to slow down so not to hit anyone, and then you can look at the snapshot of the car's computer and you see the person had gas all the way down to the floor, you know. So either they mixed up pedals or they intentionally were trying to ram someone. While we're on the car topic, here's another interesting situation. A person, like this race car wannabe driver with a BMW manual transmission, shifting gears, all that, brings their car into a dealer, says, hey, I was just driving and the engine blew up. I don't know what happened. Well, they can pull up the data and say, okay, well, at the moment when the engine blew up, you were going 60 miles an hour on the highway and you were in the second gear and your engine RPM was like 9,000 RPM. And so now they can figure out, well, what happened is the person, with the whole hot shifting thing, he shifted from fifth into second accidentally on the highway, and he did what car enthusiasts call a money shift. So they basically destroyed their engine by incorrectly shifting gears, and now the dealer knows what they did, and they're going to deny a warranty claim. And finally, iOS 16. Now you'll be able to delete or modify messages. So people screaming like, oh my God, this is gonna be a nightmare for eDiscovery, and I got a couple of thoughts on it. Well, other software allowed you to delete messages already, so iOS isn't doing anything particularly new. If it was a problem with WhatsApp or something else, well, it's gonna be a problem here. The other thing I keep reminding myself that as a tech who collects and presents this data to attorneys, we don't really care. We get data that's available and we present it for review. And if data is not available, then it's not available. And if message was modified, then it was modified. And that's all we can do. As tech people in lit support industry, we deal with data we have. If we don't have data, it's not a headache for us, it's a headache for attorney. So they have to be without certain information. They have to be guessing what the text message could have been before and argue in court. But we don't really care. We acquire data, we go through all the proper process, we present it for review, and we're done. So I'm not concerned about it. It is what it is kind of deal. All right, well, let me know if you have any opinions on these topics or if there are any other topics you would like me to discuss. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you next time. So what we got here for birds is, I believe that's a blue egret right there that's hunting something, and there is another one right there, and there's also a white one somewhere over there, right there. That is an egret flapping its wings. And somewhere over there is a yellow submarine. So Brooklyn's Yellow Submarine, you can look it up and you'll know all about this location. Yep, there is a blue one and a white one. It's more gray though, but hey, that's what they are. And yeah, of course we do have those little crabs here on the ground.